I never believed in the paranormal or the supernatural. I always thought that those things were just made up to scare children and to sell horror movies. But that was before I received that text message. It was a simple text message, but it sent shivers down my spine. It was from an unknown number, and it contained only 2 words: truth or dare. I didn't know what to make of it, so I ignored it and went back to sleep. The next night, at exactly 2 a.m., my phone beeped again. It was the same text message, truth or dare. This time, I couldn't ignore it. I replied, "Who is this?" But I didn't get a response. The following night, and every night after that, my phone would buzz at 2 a.m. and the same question would appear: truth or dare? I tried blocking the number, but it didn't work. I even changed my phone number, but it didn't stop the messages. One night, I decided to play along. I replied, "Truth." Almost immediately, a new message appeared. "Have you ever killed someone?" I was shocked. Of course I hadn't killed anyone. I replied with a simple no, but the messages kept coming. The questions became more and more personal, and the dares became more and more dangerous. They would ask me to do things like go to a graveyard at night or break into a stranger's house. I tried to ignore the messages, but they kept coming every night, like clockwork. I couldn't take it anymore. I was losing sleep, and I was constantly on edge. I decided to tell my friend about it, but she didn't believe me. She thought I was making it up for attention. I even showed her the messages, but she brushed them off as a prank. One night, I decided to take a dare. The message instructed me to go to a park at midnight and wait for further instructions. I hesitated, but the curiosity got the best of me. I drove to the park and waited. At exactly midnight, a car pulled up beside me. The driver rolled down the window and said, "Get in." I hesitated again, but something inside me told me to go for it. I got into the car, and the driver handed me an envelope. "Open it when you get home," he said, and then he drove off. I opened the envelope when I got home, and inside was a note that said, "You have chosen to play a game with us. If you refuse, we will make your life a living hell. If you win, you will receive a prize beyond your wildest dreams." The note instructed me to return to the park the next night at midnight. When I got there were 5 other people waiting for me. They all looked scared and nervous, just like me. We were all given envelopes with instructions, and we were told to follow them to the letter. The game was called Truth or Dare, the ultimate challenge. The rules were simple. Each player would take turns choosing truth or dare, and the rest of the group would come up with a challenge or a question. If the player refused to do the challenge or answer the question, they would be eliminated from the game. The challenges and questions were brutal. We had to do things like eat live insects, jump off a bridge, and reveal our darkest secrets. It was like nothing I had ever experienced before. As the game went on, the challenges became more and more dangerous. One of the players was dared to drive blindfolded on the highway, and another was dared to rob a bank. I was starting to regret my decision to play. But then, something strange happened. The game seemed to take on a life of its own. The challenges and questions became more personal, and they seemed to be tailored specifically to each player. It was like the game knew our deepest fears and our desires. I started to suspect that the game was not being controlled by the other players. It was like there was a higher power at work, pulling the strings and manipulating us. As the game went on, the players started to disappear, one by one. Some were eliminated by the challenges, while others simply vanished without a trace. I was the last one standing. The final challenge was the most terrifying of all. I was dared to enter a dark, abandoned building and retrieve an object from a room on the second floor. I didn't know what the object was, but I knew it was something important. I entered the building cautiously, my heart pounding in my chest. The air was thick with the smell of mold and decay. I climbed the stairs, my footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. When I reached the second floor, I saw a door at the end of the hallway. It was the only door in the entire building that wasn't boarded up or locked. I knew that was the room I had to enter. I pushed the door open slowly, and my heart stopped. Inside, there was a figure sitting in the corner of the room. It was a woman. She was covered in blood, and her eyes were empty sockets. I screamed and ran out of the room, but I knew that I had failed the challenge. I had lost the game. The next day, I woke up in my bed covered in sweat. I thought it had all been a nightmare. But then I saw the envelope on my nightstand. Inside was a note that said, "Congratulations, you have won the game."
This concludes our story. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.